A few years ago, I bought a single plant of these, and over the last few years I have continuously propagated the plant in an attempt to create it into a really nice, lush, bushy display with many small plants rather than having one long mature vine. And in today's video I will show you the process over the last 12 months, and then I'm going to share with you any tips and tricks I have learned about this plant. Hey everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're one of my regular viewers, you might remember this plant. I did a video about this plant about half a year ago, but I think 6 to 7 months later this plant has really shot the lights out and is looking the best it has ever looked. And yeah, I thought it really deserves another little spotlight because it's looking so beautiful. But to make sure that we're all on the same page, let's quickly give it back to Jan from a year ago so we can see the process of this plant growing into this beautiful lush display before I'll share any tips and tricks with you. I have this beautiful Syngonium mojito. My apprehension in saying beautiful is because I'm not the biggest fan of plants going wild. I personally just like organization. It has quite a lot of roots and quite a small pot, and if you look at it from the back over here you can just see how many vines and aerial roots and whatnot. They're all just supported by a garden stake so that the thing doesn't flop over. Ta-da! Bye. I always wanted to grow this into a really nice horizontal lush display with lots and lots of small plants. It all started off with just one, and by now I probably have 10, but I got a bit lazy over the last half a year or so. I had other priorities, so I wasn't really able to propagate it too much. There's some propagations I took a few, I don't know, months ago maybe. They're also going to go back into the pot, so it's going to get lusher and lusher. I need more room for roots. I'm going to take lots and lots of propagations because why not? I have a long-term vision here. I think maybe we need to cut all of this. Now, I shouldn't have left it that long because it's going to be a pain to get these roots through the holes without ripping a lot of them. So ideally don't leave it that long. I could also cut the pot apart to hopefully recover as many of these roots as possible, but I'm just going to go with YOLO. Obviously the more roots the better. Ooh. I think that worked pretty well. Obviously the more roots the better, but I also just cut like 80% of this plant off, so the existing plant in here doesn't need all too many roots. Whee! So I just shake it apart a little bit so that I can actually separate all of these plants a little bit. You can see this, plenty of empty room. Now it doesn't look the best, but it looks somewhat lush. Might as well cut a couple more, give it some time. Proof is in the pudding. I will put these in water this afternoon once they had a little bit of time to dry out to prevent rot. I'll water this and then I will update you on once there's updates to share. See you soon. Hi everybody, and welcome back. It has been 2 months since the last video, and I thought I'll share with you an update. First things first, I think this is looking very pretty and lush. There are definitely lots and lots of yellow leaves though that I'm here to just chop off, which was to be expected as part of kind of the propagation process. And I also had many propagations, and they're also pretty lush over here. I have already separated out 2 or 3 of them and gave them to Tim as part of his garden makeover, but I wanted to see if I can add maybe a few more into this pot. Specifically around the edge, I feel like there's a little bit of plant missing, so let's try that. Just pop them in here, and I'm not being super careful here. I will give it a little bit more time to grow in, and I'll check in with you soon. Let me bring you a little bit closer, let me show you what happened, and then I'll talk to you a little bit more about the plant in itself. So you can see that there's lots and lots of cuttings in here. You can see that some of these cuttings that I added most recently are only now starting to produce their first leaves. So not all of the cuttings in here have actually produced or are contributing to the growth. But let's have a look at this, for example. You can see this is a new leaf over here. So it has a bit of dust on it. And you can see that this just shot out of the pot, right? So here's a little cutting. And that's one of these cuttings I added very light. And that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted these new leaves to come out of the pot and not come out of a node that's somewhere up here, right? Would defeat the purpose and wouldn't necessarily make the plant nice and lush. It would just make the plant leggy. So the first 3 months of this project, I had the plant upstairs where it was getting light from a skylight. That skylight comes from above, hence why most of these leaves are also facing kind of up, right? And that's also on purpose. I didn't want to have one display side for this pot. I wanted this pot to kind of be nice from all sides. Now, since I added the last bunch of cuttings, I actually moved it to my north facing window right next to you down here, where it does get light from the front. So at the moment, this side is facing the window and this one is facing away, but that was never the plan. The plan was actually for me to remember to rotate it, which I forgot about. But that's the plan going forward. I want to rotate this plant so the plant grows evenly in all directions and doesn't have this one direction where all of the leaves face and then all of the growth will be directed to as well, and then kind of just flops over there. I want to keep this consistent. Now I do have more propagations actually. I want to show you. They look a little bit sun stressed. I think they're a little bit too close to the grow light, but that is also okay. You can definitely see that the variegation seems to be coming out a little bit better under the grow light. But of course, all of these cuttings are challenged because they're putting all of the energy into building roots at the moment, which is exactly what I want them to do. So that's all good. Let me take it out. I mean, oh my God, heaps of roots. Oh my God, what am I going to do with this? Probably nothing. I just put it back and forget about it. And here we are. To be honest, I don't think it's been a full year. I think it's been like 11 months, but you know, who's counting? But yeah, a few things have happened to this plant. First and foremost, it definitely looks much lusher, but also quite shortly after that last update, I took this plant and moved it outside. So it has spent the last 5 months or so outside in my garden. Keep in mind, because I'm in the southern hemisphere, right now we're going through the middle of summer. So it spent spring and summer outside, and it has certainly loved the conditions out there. Now, spring was actually kind of coldish, so I really only started seeing a lot of growth, I would say, over the last 2 months or so. It is in a really sunny spot actually. It does get a lot of direct sun, also direct midday sun actually. So I'm really giving it a lot of sun. So I'm really surprised at how much sun this is actually able to take, but I also think as a result of that high sun exposure, we are seeing the most variegation this plant has ever really shown, right? Like if you look at the first half of this video, where we're going into autumn and winter, while there was a little bit of variegation showing, it wasn't quite as intense and it didn't last as long and there wasn't as much of it. So definitely confirms my suspicion that light and/or temperature, but I'm pretty sure it's light, that light actually really helps bring out the beautiful variegation. The variegation still fades over time, don't get me wrong, but not as bad as if the plant receives less light. Let me bring you a little bit closer maybe. I mean, you can really see how many beautifully variegated leaves there are now. This is looking stunning. And if we're looking into the pot over here, maybe I'll need to take it out. You can also see which side is facing the sun, right? This side where all of the growth is kind of flopping over. There are lengthy vines here for sure, longer than I used to have them when I still grew it indoors. But I'm not mad at it because I kind of can just trail it around the pot. I think that's the main thing that I changed, the pot. It is, actually there could be so many spiders in there. Hang on, I need to be careful when I pick up this pot. Oh, oh, there's some sort of label there. Okay, you can definitely see this plant has thoroughly rooted outside of its pot. I'm not surprised, it's a pretty small pot, but there's a lot of debris in this outer planter. So you saw this outer planter over here, it has a drainage hole, so any of the excess water drains. There's just a whole lot of debris in there because, well, debris falls outside and the roots seem to be attracted to that wet debris in the pot. I have no intentions of changing anything about this for now because I'm gonna keep it outside for at least another couple of months, and then maybe going into winter I will decide whether or not this plant should be overwintering indoors or if I keep it outside. I'm hoping it will build enough resilience for it to just be fine. Now the other thing that I have changed, and I want to work on this a little bit more diligently today while I keep talking to you, is we have all of these vines, right? And initially I didn't want all too many vines. I kind of just cut them into many bits so that I have more plants. But I think I reached a maximum of plants I can really have. I mean, you saw the pot is really full. I don't know how much lusher I want this to be. I'm happy for some of these vines to now just trail a little bit more, and then maybe over winter, if the variegation isn't showing as nicely anywhere, I'll start going through a chopping cycle again. You saw all of these propagations in my initial. Let me quickly just get some twine. Yeah, all these propagations that I just chucked back in the pot because I was a bit too overwhelmed. I took all of them as they are and pot them into Tim's garden as well. So I have no desire in adding more propagations back into this pot. So I don't want to take more propagations for now, right? I think this is fine. Now I have a teeny tiny garden stake in here. Maybe if I would have a taller one, it would be a little bit better, but that's okay. I actually like the kind of shallow look, right? I don't want it to go too tall because I also now have positioned it under my umbrella and to be able to still open the umbrella nicely without hurting the plant. The plant can't be too tall. So I like this look. I think also the planter helps a little bit because the pot sits quite deep, so the pot only goes to about here. So all of this part of the planter helps keeping the vines up rather than flopping over. But I think a little bit more work on keeping them up here wouldn't hurt. And I want them to go here and then start trailing down again, like this one, right? I think that's a cool look. But I want them to at least make contact with this bamboo stick in one spot so that it has a little bit of structure. So yeah, I don't want to take any more propagations. I think I have too many already, but see if I change my mind in winter. But at the moment, don't fix what's not broken. I think this display is looking absolutely beautiful, so I'm not in a rush to change anything. Now, of course, as a result of me repositioning all of these vines now, it's going to look a little bit weirder initially, potentially, but the leaves will adjust to the light and the plant will find its own way. But it was just getting a little bit overgrown. I think definitely going with a more horizontal approach for this plant instead of aiming for maturity and growing it vertically up a pole has paid out. I think it adds a little bit of interest. It's a nice vertical display, and I think it's really bringing out the best parts of this plant. I like the arrow-shaped leaves instead of the trilobial leaves when the plant matures, and I also really like this lush horizontal display. It's just a little bit different to any of my other plants that I have, and I mean, that's cool, right? Adds a little bit of interest. See how the old leaves are all faded? I'm just going to chop off a few now. I think some of them might have also not really appreciated the transition to being outdoors, but now that the plant is growing outdoors, the plant is getting used to it a little bit more. Now, the other thing I have not done with this plant much since growing it outdoors is providing nutrients. I think that is something I could do to improve the growth of this plant a little bit. Most of the time it's just going to get hosed down and or taken care of by the rain, and it's obviously in a quite a small pot, so there wouldn't be many nutrients in the pot that the plant can rely on. So I think after this session over here I'm going to fertilize it a little bit with my GT Foliage Focus, but that's one of the things I'm not super consistent with when growing plants outdoors. Okay, what does it look like from your end? Oh, a little messy, huh? Let me turn it around for you so you can see the full 360. It definitely has a presentation side, the one that's facing you. And I definitely think it looks worse now than before I started attaching to the stake, but as I mentioned, the plant is gonna adjust according to the light exposure over the next couple of weeks, and then it will look absolutely stunning again. I think I'll wrap up this video over here. It was really just meant to be a really short and sharp video because I really wanted to show you how beautiful this plant is looking at the moment, and hopefully it gives you some ideas of what you can do with your Syngoniums, or what you can do with any sort of plant if you have no desire to grow it vertically up a moss pole and see it mature. You can totally aim for a lush display if you're willing to continuously propagate the plant. The earlier you propagate the plant, the earlier you have many cuttings that can then grow, the earlier you can really create volume. So maybe this is the encouragement you needed to go ahead and chop your plants. You have to be actively involved if you want to create a nice lush display. If you just let the plant do its own thing, it is very unlikely that it's going to grow in a way that is aesthetically pleasing. Most of the times plants grow a little bit too wild for my personal liking. The other thing is, this could be a plant for somebody who wants to have a plant growing outdoors over summer and then bring it back in during winter. I think this would be a good candidate. It's definitely possible to make this plant grow nice and lush indoors, even in winter, but it is super easy growing this plant nice and lush outdoors during summer. So it's probably going to be one of these plants that I take in and out. That's all I really wanted to say about this plant. I just wanted to show you something that's not up a moss pole for once, just to show you that, you know, there's other ways of growing your plants as well if you want to, and maybe this gave you some inspiration. Thanks so much for coming along. Like, subscribe and leave a nice comment, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.